Hey, welcome everyone. How is everybody doing tonight here on Survival Preparedness for Beginners? I hope everybody's doing great. And if you all can hear me and everything sounds good, please give me a number 1 if you would, for everybody that's here right now, so I know that we're doing well. I had a couple of issues a minute ago. I think I figured them out. So give me a number 1 if you guys can hear me. Cherry, David, all right. Okay, everybody can start. Everybody's hearing me fine. All right. That's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. As always, my moderators, Jan, JT, Coffee First, then Speak. Renee O'Connor, she's here. Thank you for being here. K. Paul, Sunset, Eric King, Linda, Mindy, Annette. Let me just scroll through. Pitbull's here. David, Sweet Savory Words is here. Let me just scroll on through here. We got a really great show tonight, folks. I hope you all enjoy it. Carmela Yates is here. Kay Paul's here. Michael O'Brien's here. All right. Scroll right on through. If I miss your name, I'm sorry. It's jumping all around. Just trying to catch everybody and anybody. Lady J, Philip, nice to see you. Coffee Guy, Heather, Gina's here. Dun, dun, dun. Buck Bomb's here. Just keep scrolling. Never Be. Sherry, Sean, Cheryl, Lady Jesselyn's here. Nope, I just jumped again. I'm sorry, folks. All right. Well, we got a good crowd rolling in here tonight. I want to remind everybody right now, there is merchandise now. As you can see, I'm wearing a shirt. I have a coffee cup. It's pretty cool. It says preparedness is everything. I know it's backwards to me. I don't know if you're seeing it the right way or not. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because I don't want people saying, oh, I'm just here pushing merchandise. Since I just started the merchandise, you save 15% off any order that you make for the first 15 days. So today is the 7th day because it came out last Saturday. So you have a few days left if you want to save 15% on anything that you want to order. You don't have to. I just wanted everybody to be aware. I'm trying to save a little bit of money before that promo goes away. It's for me being a new member of this company that I order all this stuff through. And this way here, hopefully, maybe you can pick up some merchandise or something. Like I said, and last week, there's stuff in there for men, women, kids. There's all types of different, there's hats, there's bags, there's all kinds of stuff, coffee cups, stickers. There's all kinds of really cool stuff. So if you're interested, you still save 15% for the next 6 days and, or so. So I just want everybody to be aware of that. Next thing is, I'd like to thank everybody that was very interested and the way everybody commented on the cooking videos I'm going to start doing. Now, this one I did this past Friday was really long. I'll give you that one, folks. It was way too long. It was 20 some odd minutes. It's just way too long. So the one that I did for this coming Friday, because every Friday is going to be a cooking episode with your preps. All right. Could be named something different or whatever, but that's what the Friday videos are going to be right now. I'm trying to do a series, and I did get some good feedback on what maybe you guys are looking for. So if you do have any ideas or what you'd like to see me maybe try to do with the preps and that kind of stuff, recipes or cooking with whatever, it could be in your survival pantry or whatever, put it in the comments of this video here. And this way I can just go right back in and I can see what maybe you guys are looking for or whatever else, and try to do some of those types of videos. So you guys are getting your information, if it's cooking with spam, with beans, with rice, with pasta, whatever it could be, you know, throw the ideas out there and I'll see what I can do about getting some of these done, because I got some great ideas from the few that did watch the video on Friday. And the video that's coming out this coming week, it's only 10 minutes long, folks. So it's cut in half. So I broke it down and it came out really, really good. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And like I said, it's not real long. It's a 10-minute video, and that's cutting it pretty tight. I mean, I want to be able to cover a lot of different things in those videos and explain some things and give you ideas what you can do extra than what I did. So you have the knowledge. And that's the thing that I'm really going for here, is for you guys to gain the knowledge out there so that you guys can be able to cook and make up stuff and maybe have some recipes to fall back on. You can write them down or whatever. Eventually, a lot of these recipes are going to be on my website in a PDF file that you'll be able to download, but that's not all coming until next year. So for now, you can just go through and just write down the recipes. I mean, they're not real long recipes, not a lot of ingredients. And this way here, you have it. So if something ever happens, you can fall right back on them, because the whole key is trying to get the information out there so that you can be prepared for you and your family. Now, another thing I want to remind everybody about is the fact that in 2 weeks, I'm going to be going away for 2 weeks. So my son's getting married, and I'm very excited. We fly out of here uh, the first weekend of September, and I'll be gone for 2 weeks. But there will be some videos and stuff coming out. I'm going to be shooting some videos while I'm up there, because I'm going to the woods, folks. I mean, oh, it's where I would love to be. But there will be videos and stuff coming out up there. Live streams, the first Saturday, that one won't be because of my son's getting married. That's the day he gets married. So there will be no live stream on Saturday, September 10th. The following week, there should be a live stream. We should be home, and I'll be able to do a live stream then. So you just miss the one live stream. But I want to try to do at least one live while I'm up there, even if it's just to have a talk sitting in the woods or something. Um, and it's just on the availability of the good old service. I'm leaving the state of Florida and going to Vermont. So where we're going to be is out in the middle of nowhere, actually. And so we'll have to see what kind of service I get and if I can get stuff out and take it from there. But I wanted to give everybody a heads up. There will be some videos coming out. They're going to be just some informational videos, some quick videos, and that type of stuff. So I just wanted everybody to be aware. I will remind you on next Saturday. Next Friday, we will, like I said, have the cooking video coming out. And Saturday will be a live stream. And then the following Saturday, there won't be one. So I'll remind everybody then. And on that, we got enough people in here right now. Let's get going on today's video. Now, today's video is very important, because what we really have to really think about, folks, is a lot of their plans don't include us. Now, I'm sure this didn't draw in a lot of people, but this is very important. And the thing you have to remember is their plans that they have, and I'm not just talking about the government. I'm not talking about any certain parties. I'm talking about the whole world as a whole. If you look at the total population of this world, all right, they're having a hard time feeding all these people, correct? There's famines in so many countries, and people are going hungry on a daily basis. So, what is their plans? We have multi-billionaires like Bill Gates that has bought up tons of land in the United States. He is now the largest landowner in this country. He also has his um, his lab that he has been genetically modifying and growing meat. I did a video on that and what his plans are and how he can grow this in a lab and mass produce it to put it out to the American public. We have so many different things that are going on right now that their plans don't include us because there's no way that our government, any government in this world, can support the amount of people that live in their own country, let alone help out the rest of the world. Right? Their plans are to, in my opinion, is to somehow or another slowly reduce the baggage, if you get what I'm saying. So this way here, it makes it a lot easier for these people to push their plans through to try to make it sound and try to make it all equal out. You see, because a lot of things that are going on, nobody wants to admit what is really taking place. You know, they come up with all these harebrain ideas and excuses on why certain things are happening. And a lot of people sit back and really think about, well, they wouldn't lie to us. They would only tell us the truth. I'm sure what they're saying is true. We have to believe what they're saying and all this kind of stuff. The people that don't have the blinders on are the ones that are asking the questions. That doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? And give us the real explanation behind what is taking place. And we've been through this over the last few years, correct? Now, I have to be very careful how I say things. So you may have to read between the lines just a little bit. Okay. So it'd be very beneficial for them to come up with all these different things that have been going on and to try to control the population. So this way here, it's easier for their plan to include us based on the fact that we follow what they want us to do. Do that make sense? You see, the one type of person I believe that they are very afraid of, that question, is preppers. And the reason I say that is because we tend to question things more. We don't tend to go with the normal. We have more questions. We want to know more. And they don't like questions. They don't like to know that we think. We use our heads and we think. And that is because being a prepper in this day and age is so critically important for you and your family because they don't have us included into a massive plan if something really terrible did go wrong. We, on the other hand, as preppers, you have to be prepared in the whole realm, in the whole ball of preparedness, covering everything from your food, your water, your ways you can purify your water, first aid, survival gear, different type of clothing, depending on where you live in this country, in this world. Because everybody's situation is different. You can drive 100 miles and the weather's going to be totally different than what it is at your front door. So you have to be very well rounded in your preps, because the reason being is because the more you're prepared, the more they're scared of you. Now, yes, I know I'm going to get people that say, yep, they're going to come take all your stuff because you're being a prepper and you're doing this and that and everything else. I don't totally believe that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I don't think that's going to be the case in the very beginning of anything that may take place, because let's face it, they're going to have their hands full. Because think about it. All right. Just think about this for a minute. Just follow me. Something majorly goes down. Now you got what? Almost 330 million people just in our country. Let's say 10% of those are preppers. Okay. So the rest of these people now may not have a place to live, may not have food to eat, may need medical services. And where do you think all these people are going to turn to? The people that they believed that was going to be there for them. And that is the government, the federal government, your local governments, the whole 9 yards. They're going to have their hands full trying to fend off these people and everything else, while the other 10%, all of us preppers, are going to be hunkering down wherever you may be. It could be in your house, it could be in your safe place, wherever it is. You're going to be hunkering down and you're going to be keeping quiet. You're not going to be going outside. You're not going to be doing any of that. You're going to keep a low profile and you're going to let the chaos go on outside. You see what I'm saying? So if you really think about it, when these people respond and they say, oh, they're going to come take your preps anyways, I think that'll be a very last ditch effort to take total control, because they're going to have their hands full until they can get control of the 90% of people that aren't preppers. And once they can get control over them and they keep them in reign, then they can start to worry about the other 10%. But I think that's going to be a long time down the road, even after a major disaster. Does that make sense? I hope I do. I hope everybody understands what I am trying to say. And if you do, if you guys really understand what I'm talking about here, give me a number one, because nobody can clap, you can't applaud, you can't do anything. Give me a number one if you understand where I am coming from and what I'm saying to you, because it is very, very critically important that we all have to try and stay ahead of the 8 ball. Thank you, everybody, for the number ones. Thank you very much. Now, staying ahead of the 8 ball is a very crucial point. You see, because we all know through history, the government can't support everybody. That's out of the question. It ain't going to happen. It never has happened throughout history. And it's not going to happen now just because we're living in 2022. So for people out there that you may know that have these ill feelings about being a prepper, about trying to put up extra, that has these feelings that, well, you know what? I mean, I ain't got nothing to worry about. Somebody's, the government's going to be there to take care of me. The city government's going to be there to take care of me. My state government, whatever. They're not going to be there. They may be taking care of some people, more than likely in their little groups, but they're not going to be there to take care of you and me. That is your job. And you need to stop letting the peer pressure of what everybody else thinks if you start putting up food and supplies for you and your family. That's just craziness. So if they want to sit there and look at you like, you got, the tin cap on and, you've gone crazy and everything else. But when the situation hits the fan who's going to be calling who's crazy? They're going to be over there knocking on your door. And then what are you going to do? I mean, that's a whole nother situation. But the biggest thing is that people have to remember, especially if you have a family and you have kids, is nobody's going to be there to help. You're on your own. You have to do it yourself. You have to be prepared. You have to take the time, and you have to take the knowledge that you gain from channels like mine and put that into your own playbook and build off of the knowledge that you have gained from me, from the people here in this community that have commented on thousands of comments to try to help people out. That's what you have to take in consideration. You go through, you can read the comments, you can segregate it out to where you can see the top comments, and then you can read all the comments below. What people do, how people do it, whatever it may be. All that is more tools that go in your toolbox. Your toolbox never gets full. There is nobody out here that knows everything. We all can learn something new every day when you wake up. You can learn something new today. You can learn how to prep. You can learn how to do your rice. You can learn how to put up meats. You can learn how to dehydrate. The one thing I don't do, folks, is canning. But there's plenty of great channels out there that do. The ball is in your court. The knowledge is at your hands. The knowledge has been given to you. But it is your choice to make the decision to decide if I'm going to follow the status quo or if I'm going to be prepared in case the status quo is wrong. Now we have midterm elections coming up this November. It's going to be very interesting, folks. I think we're in for one heck of a ride. Something has to change. I'm not telling people how to vote, and I don't care if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. That's your choice. That's your God-given right from living in this country. And I'll never get into it on here with anybody. I speak my opinion. I'm not going to tell anybody here if I'm a Republican, a Democrat, or if I'm neither. The fact of the matter is, until we as a country can come back together and we as a country can turn around and start caring about each other, and we as a country can start moving forward with agreements and plans that everybody on both sides can agree to, come together as one. Until the federal government can come to that conclusion, nothing's going to change. We're going to keep going down this same rabbit hole. And the only problem is, it's a big ass snake at the end that just loves to eat rabbits. Preparedness. Preparedness is key. Preparedness will always be key. You're never done preparing. Thing you have to remember is there's always something that you can be doing, whether it is putting up preps, whether it is learning how to use your first aid. Say you have a really nice first aid kit. You put all these different types of goodies and stuff in there. Fine and dandy. Do you know how to use them? Because when emergency hits and that time has come, well, folks, it's a little too late to try to figure out how to use it, because more than likely you need to use it 10 minutes ago. It can be the difference between somebody's life and somebody's death. That could be your family member, could be a friend, could be somebody in your group, your community. You can't afford to lose. You see, there's always things that you can be doing. You can be reading books on different types of situations that you may encounter. Do you know how to set up a tent? Basic tent. It's a basic shelter. It gets you out of the elements and gets you inside. A basic tent. I'm not talking about a teepee. I'm not talking about any of these other types of fancy tents and stuff. A basic tent. That's all it is. Can you set up a tarp? Put it at an angle so the water runs off, to keep maybe your gear or maybe you dry. There's a lot you can do with the tarp. If your tarp's big enough, there's a lot you can do with it. You can make a tarp a tarp. You can make a tarp an airframe tent. You can also, if the tarp's big enough, you can make your tarp into a lean-to. But you have to know how to do those things. It's one thing just to hang up a tarp, but you got to make sure it's pitched in the right direction to maybe help block the wind and to keep the weather, rain, and snow out. There's things that you can do. There's things that you can learn. We're always on a learning curve here because remember, their plans don't include us. So you need to ask yourself today, what can I do to ensure that even though I'm not included in their plan, my plan is secure? You are ready. You are prepped. Or maybe you're beginning prepping, which is fine. A little bit behind, but whatever you can do today will help you tomorrow. You see, that's the key. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We could wake up tomorrow, be no power whatsoever. Whole country's dark. What are you going to do? Do you have batteries for your flashlight? Because something like that did take place. It's going to make March of 2020 look like a walk in the park. You think the stores are bad then? You ain't seen nothing yet. You know, a lot of the things that we're going through right now, a lot of people, none of us have been through. On the verge of, the whole thing collapsing around us. We have a government that's telling us nothing's wrong. There's no inflation. Don't worry about it, folks. You just keep running up those credit cards and we'll keep collecting the money. That's what they want you to do. My video coming out tomorrow about the news on Walmart, that is eye-opener. And they're not the only company that is doing what I'm talking about in that video tomorrow. All of them have. It's going to affect everything. I'm telling you. These people have a plan. They're going to start reducing the amount of products that they have. They're going to get it down to the bare necessities, and that's all you're going to get. That's their plan. And they're going to charge you an arm and a leg for it because they can, because of inflation. And if you really think about it, all this stuff that they bought, think about this, folks. All this stuff that these companies bought that sat around for God knows how many months, maybe a year, they bought it at one price. Cheap, real cheap. And now inflation came. Well, maybe we won't sell as many, but if we can sell a few at I don't know, close to double the price. Maybe we can still make a profit. You see, they're always thinking of ways to make a profit off of you and me. That's the problem. Their plans include themselves. You see, because all these big companies, the government, all these rich billionaires, all they care about is money, period. They don't really care about what's going to happen to us or what happens to the poor people out there that can't afford to put a roof over their head and food on the table. And they really don't care. If they did, we wouldn't be in this same boat. And as the government really cared about all of us people, I think the government might have started long before all this stuff happened and started taking care of the vets in this country. Just my opinion. It's a very sore subject of mine because of what's been done to the men and women that have gone to battle, even if they're in training or whatever else, and been injured. And now they can't perform their jobs anymore. Or maybe they lost an arm, a leg, maybe both, maybe all of them. And then they just turn their backs on them. They throw them a little bit of cash or something per month. There you go. That's all we're doing for you. It's a crying shame. So you look how they took care of the vets over the past, 40, 50 years. And then you tell me, you sit there and you put in the comments, you tell me how this government cares about you. I don't buy it. They don't. You see, we're all a number. If you're here legally, you're a number. We all have one. It's called your social security number. That's all you are. And when you're gone, we just write that number off and give out another new one to somebody that's born. It's just the way it is, folks. I know a lot of people don't like to hear a lot of the truth, but you know what? I'm sorry. The truth is what you're going to get. I'm not going to say here, I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And I'm going to tell you what has been taking place. And if you guys doubt me on how the vets are taken care of, do your own investigation. If things were so good for all the vets, you wouldn't need all these different organizations that are trying to raise money to help the vets out because the government isn't doing it. Right? So, where are they going to be when you need their help? Where is the government? I'll tell you where the government is. They're sitting in Washington, D.C. They're going to be guarded by National Guard, Army, Navy, Marines, whoever. While everybody else outside is sitting there screaming, hollering, and everything else because they're hungry. Is that the plan that you have? Is your plan including the status quo? Because just remember, their plans don't include you. Now, why do we need to be prepared? Ask yourself that. Why do I need to be prepared? Based off what I just listened to. Because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, folks. I'm not trying to get you to buy anything. I'm not trying to sell you a course. I'm not trying to do anything. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to keep you safe. I'm trying to keep you fed. I'm trying to keep you and your family, your kids, especially. That's why I talk and I do my live streams because I want people to be able to gather the information that they need for them and their families or learn something new by through the chat. While I'm talking, you guys over here chatting away. And that's fine. Because when I go back through and I read through some of the chats, which I do, you know, I see where people are talking about different things. I did this today. Oh, yeah. Well, I did this, or I found this here. And, There's all different types of stuff going on. And then you get your occasional political stuff going on and everything else, which I could care less about. Like I said, I'm not interested into having an argument with anybody about what party you are in or who's right, who's wrong. I'm interested in finding out, okay, how are we going to get out of this situation that we're in? And how are we going to prevail as Americans? And I think everybody should be asking themselves this in all the other countries that they live in that are watching these videos. England, Australia, all over the place. I have some from Africa, India, all over. You should be asking yourselves, what are we going to do as a country to get out of the boat that we're in right now? Simple question. But you see, their plan doesn't include us. So, where does that leave us? Back to square one. You see, there for a while, the wheel was actually round. Now, seems like we've gone back in time to square wheel. Somebody has to figure out how to start scraping off the edges and getting that sucker round again so we can get things rolling. You know what I'm saying, folks? I mean, think about it. I have grandkids. My kids are growing up. I can't imagine right now having young kids and trying to provide for them on a basic job. Say it, you know, even if you're working at McDonald's or Burger King or something like that, you're making, say, $15 an hour. It's not enough money to survive. Not with the inflation going up. And they're already talking about raising it more. Because we're not in a recession or anything, remember? People are still spending money. You see, they're not going to stop at raising the interest rate until people stop spending money. Because they believe then that's what gets us back into check. But then it puts us in checkmate because we're in a recession. So then prices start going the opposite direction. Gas will drop because people aren't going to be able to afford to travel besides going to work or going to school or maybe going to the grocery store. If you're lucky, you'll have enough gas left over to get to church. More people will be buying bikes. I did notice on Amazon, a lot of their electric bikes that they had, they're not available anymore. They're all sold out. They don't know when they're coming back in. A lot of the popular ones. So I think a lot of people, and I've seen quite a few of them on, the streets lately. A lot of people are jumping on that electric bike thing. Gets you around. Those suckers cruise too. I'm telling you. I mean, they move right along. It's an investment. They'll set you back anywhere between, 500 to $1,000. But then again, you can charge it with a solar panel. Even if you don't have electricity, you can charge it with a solar panel and you have something that's going to get you around town. Maybe it's not such a bad idea. Maybe that would be a smart investment at this point in time in the game that we're playing right now. Because the chess pieces are all moving around. But the board is starting to clear out. And we're getting down to where it's getting pretty close to check. When we hit checkmate, you better be prepared. You better be ready. Because at that point in time, it's too late to start. The time to prepare is now because their plans don't include us at all. You have to do what you have to do. You have to be prepared. However, you have to do it. If that means you don't buy a coffee every day, save that money, and then put that money into your preps, so be it. Start packing your lunch instead of buying lunch. Save money there. Put that money into your preps. Watch how you drive. Or if you have to run errands, are you running your errands correctly? Or are you just all over the place? Your house is point A. You want to try to do everything in a loop to come back to your house as much as possible. I know it's not always possible, but as much as possible. Don't zigzag back and forth and everything else. You do everything in a loop and then back at your house. Save yourself time and gas. Gas prices have started to come down. I paid $3.42 the other day. But a lot of parts of the country, they're still up there. And they don't know if they may be going back up or not. They hem and haw about it, you know. But then again, who do you believe? Who do we believe? You have the government saying it's the oil company's problem. You have the oil companies saying it's the government's problem. I think it's both of their problems because they both want money. They both had their hands out at the same time. It's just a fact, folks. All you have to do is go in and Google how much these oil companies make per year. You'll be blown away because they're all in the billions. They're laughing all the way to the bank. And then they turn around and say, well, the government took away these rights on these lands. What about all the other rights? Just saying. Then the government comes back and says, well, it's the gas problem. The gas price problem is because of the oil companies. They keep raising the price. And then when the price of the oil goes down, they don't drop the price. They only drop it maybe a penny or two a day. They've been doing that for how many years? Are they just catching on now? Somebody needs to wake somebody up in Washington, D.C., if that's what they think. Because that's been going on for a long time, folks. So in closing, I think the most important thing that you could do right now is to sit down, take a good hard look at what you have, and build from there. Use your knowledge. If you need more knowledge, I have videos. If you have questions, you can always ask a question in a video. You can email me. You can ask other members that have commented on the videos. If you notice, some members are publicly shown that they are a member, that they publicly acknowledge being a subscriber, I should say. We do have membership now. There are a couple people that are in that, and that has just started up also. There's been so much new stuff coming on. They are also noted. You could always ask one of them. But you can always feel free to email me. I have no problem. That's what it's there for. I use it strictly for YouTube. I'll do my best to answer any of your questions. And if I can't get you the answers, I may just send you to somebody that probably could. I don't have a problem doing that, especially if it's another channel, especially if it's somebody that I know that I would trust to send one of my community members to. And most of you probably know who I'm talking about. You see, because I believe it's not a game. I'm not in this to see if I can get more subscribers than somebody else, or if I can grow my channel faster than somebody else. What I'm in it for is the way I see it. If we're all true prepping channels, we all have one goal. Reason we're on here. And that's to get you the information you need to make sure that you people have the knowledge. And if I can't get you the knowledge, or if I think that somebody may know a better way, I will tell you to go to that person, to that channel, and check them out. Like I said, I don't do canning videos. So if somebody had a canning question, I would send you to some other channels, because there's a lot of great channels out there that have a lot of great canning videos. And it's amazing what people can can nowadays. It really is. So I think the biggest thing that you can do is being prepared for you and your family at this point in time. Do all you can do while you can do it before the time in the bottle runs out. Because remember, folks, their plan doesn't include you and me. We are on our own, and we have to do what we have to do to be prepared for our families. Because when it comes down to it, for all you people out there with kids, the last words you want to hear is, "I'm hungry," and you don't have anything to give them. Those will be the last words you want to hear. So you might want to get going and making sure that you are prepped and ready. Because there is a storm brewing, folks. I'm telling you, there's too much stuff going on in this world for something not to happen. And all it's going to take is one stupid moron out there to do one stupid move, and it's going to throw us into one heck of a ride. If you get what I'm saying, I hope I'm wrong, but look at everything that's going on. There's too much. There's too much BS going on all around the world. There's too many fires and not enough firemen. So until we can put some of these fires out and get things back in check and get people to cool down a little bit, everybody thinks they have to be number one. We all live on the same damn planet. Maybe somebody forgot that. I don't know. You tell me. That's just the way I see it. All right. I'm going to jump over here to the comments. If you guys got any questions, please put them in all capital letters so they pop out. So hopefully I can catch them. All right. I may not be able to catch all of them, but I'm going to do my best, because sometimes this thing starts going like crazy and I can't keep up and it keeps jumping and then you lose your spot and the rest is history. But try to put them all caps and I'll do my best. All right, we got a super sticker here from Sharon Crampton, $5. Thank you very much, Sharon. You didn't have to do that, but I do appreciate it. Every little bit helps this channel out. And we just jumped. All right. Let me scroll back up as far as I can. All right. Let me just go from here. Chasers of the Light 1. The way they decide the worth of a country is how much each person in that country is going to provide in dollars to the country in their lifetime. That's a very good point. Carl says, if you are hearing this transmission, you are the resistance. Probably more than likely, Carl. You're probably right there. Let me scroll on down through. All right. I'm just scrolling down through, folks. Remember, put your comments in capital letters if you have any questions or anything. That'll be let them eat cake while setting up in the castle. Oh, I'm sure they'll be doing that, folks. You can guarantee on that cake, caviar, popping some champagne, Dom Perignon, all the good stuff. Oh, yeah. Carl Miller, Revelation 6.8. Yeah, could be. Buddha Yoga, Forest Dweller. We're not free. No, we are not. We are not free. That is definitely for sure. Every day you turn around, it seems like there's something else they want to take away from you. It seems like there's a lot of that going on lately, and it needs to stop. The Rock Doc, nice to see you. Nice to see you too, The Rock Doc. ATC and the other things. First time viewer of this live. I've watched the replay. Yes, thank you very much for being here on this live stream. I'm glad you had the time to join in. And if you ever do miss any live streams, you can always review them and play them back. I always make sure that I put on the comments so that you guys can see all the comments and everything as they're going down through. But that is a beautiful thing about the live streams is if you miss it, you can always go back and watch it at a later time. Or what I used to do when I had time, which I don't have time anymore. When I used to have time, and if I miss a live stream, I just hit play and I'd listen to it, because you're just talking. So I just listened to it. And while I was doing other things around the house or if I was outside or whatever else, I just listened to it like a podcast almost, I mean, just turn it on and there you go. All right, let's go on down through here. I'm jumping around here, folks. Sorry about that. I'm trying to control this thing. Oops said worldwide revolution. I don't know. There's something that's going on. Pilgrim Prepper. None of that matters now. It comes down to will you fight for America? That's it. Pilgrim Prepper. Yes. Okay. I agree with your statement at that. I also agree that you have to be prepped and ready, though. You can't just, you're not going to go to a gunfight with a knife. You know what I'm saying? I agree with what you're saying, but there is also more to the whole situation than that, especially for people with families and everything else. Defending your families, your property, your rights, that's one thing, but you also have to make sure that you can provide while you're defending. Do you get what I'm saying? Chris O, you're not a patriot. Thank you for telling the truth. I don't pay. I don't pay for anybody's opinions or anything else. Copy person speak. Kathy D, salt and light. I want to see 2,000 mules. Yeah, well. Rare breeds, truth. The vets were never taken care of well. Their families suffered as well. Homeless vets shows how much they cared about. Yes, there, especially down here in Florida, there are a ton of homeless vets. And that's why I do not support anybody that wants to sit there and say that the government is going to be there to take care of them. It's not going to happen. Jamie says, seems like they want to bring the dark ages back. Sometimes it feels that way, doesn't it? Kamala, no one is free here. We have to pay taxes. Yes, we always will have to pay taxes. It's how they want it. Unfortunately, I do agree, but you know, some states you pay more than others. Some states have a state tax, like here in Florida, they don't. Uh, New Hampshire, I know they don't. There are some states that they don't have any of that, and then you have some where, well, you pay more taxes than you make. Vivian P, not knock. Michael Reed, 2,000 Mules was excellent. Lefty Lisa, Death and Taxes. Yep. That was part of the old saying. There's only two things I have to do in this life, and die and pay taxes, and one of them is an option. Judith, Dan Davis, get a big hammer and whoop on it. Yeah. All right. Let me scroll on down through here. I'm looking for any questions here or anything that you guys wanted to say. Oh, ATC and other things. George Carlin. I love George Carlin. I watch and listen to his stuff all the time. What you said was so true. We don't have politicians. We have owners. They own you. They own everything. They got you by the balls, America. And that is so true. And I've often wondered, poor George, he's passed away and gone. But what would he think about what is taking place right now in this country, in this world? You tell me it wouldn't be one heck of a show to go and watch and listen to him. Because we all know that he was all about the show. I mean, that was George. And he told it exactly like it was. If you never listened to George Carlin, okay, sometimes he uses foul language. I'm going to say that up front. This way, nobody can come back and say anything against me. All right. But if you go back and you watch some of his old work, now he's been a comedian all his life. Now, if you go back and watch some of his work, especially in the 80s, and put it into text today, it's like he knew what was going to happen in the future. I'm just saying, folks. It's really weird, but I'm just saying. 120-watt solar panel will charge the battery. Yes. All right. Storm Rider. I totally agree. No one is coming to save you. You need to save you. Yes. Amen. That is a excellent, excellent comment. I do totally agree. I've had 4 electric scooters. They're not that bad, says Jamie Tundridge. Hmm. All right, we're scrolling down through. Pinewoods Prepper says, have you guys heard about how companies are buying water rights so they can water their golf courses in the desert? Our government allows golf courses to be prioritized over people. That doesn't surprise me. Because what does all these rich, you know, cocksuckers like to do? Play golf. All right. I mean, come on. It's the truth, folks. Think about it. They got to have some place to go, especially if it's snowing. They got to go out to the desert where it's still nice and sunny and warm so they can play golf. There'll, there'll be a big fence around it real soon. We'll put a fence and stuff around that, but our borders are still open, right? And I don't understand that one either. We're not going to get going on that one either. Oh, boy. Yes, yes, yes. Rockamas, good to see you. I rarely leave the house. New owners down the road thought my house was vacant. Well, I mean, that's a good and a bad thing. But, people sit and assume anything, you know, build rocket stoves as back up to a camping stove. Yes. I mean, building your own stove and stuff is, pretty simple. Making anything that can burn wood. I mean, you can use cinder blocks. There's different types and different ways that you can cook, folks, especially if you have an abundance of wood. Now, if you live downtown New York City, you're pretty much screwed unless you're going to be burning all your furniture. And then you're going to be smelling all those toxic chemicals and stuff. And that's going to kill you. So the point being is, if you get creative, if you take the time and put it towards your preparedness and learn some of these different things, you'll find that some of this stuff is really simple to do and just about anybody can do it. The home in the USA need more canned food, need more rice. You need lots of big pots and pans. Yes, I would say that people also need to make sure that they do have cast iron. I'm a firm believer in cast iron. I talk about in my cooking video this coming week on Friday that's coming out. In that brief 10 minutes there, I also do talk about cast iron and the reasons why you want to have that cast iron. The cast iron frying pan that I have is ancient, and that thing's been to hell and back, and that thing still is like brand new. It's amazing. And I tell you in that video roughly about how old that thing is. It's a lot older than me. So, I mean, good cast iron. Don't buy the cheap off-brand stuff. You're going to buy Lodge. Okay, they've been around the longest. They've been doing this for a long time. They have great products. Yes, you're going to pay the premium price, but your grandkids will be using that same frying pan when they get older. Think of it that way. It's a one-time investment. If you take care of it, it's a one-time investment. Period. Beach Bum says, "Yeah, I drive in circles a lot." Oh, yeah. There are quite a few people. A lot of people they don't understand the concept. They just know they want to go here, 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 and here. And when you explain to somebody exactly how I explained it to you, you start at point A and you do a loop, however you want to do it, whichever way you want to do it. You do a loop so you end back at your house. It will save you time and save you gas. And if you really think about it, it works. Storm Rider, funny. My sister zigzags. Makes no sense to me. Make a loop. Yep. I would get away from any cities and major highways. Yes. I mean, if you have the availability to do that, I mean, yes, that would be probably a very good thing to do. But, you know, as far as most people, it's just not feasible. For one, if they're an older person, they're a senior citizen or anything like that, they're pretty much stuck wherever they are. Other people, maybe they can't find work, or they don't have the ability to do any of that kind of stuff. I would suggest maybe doing a commute. I mean, I commute an hour each way to work. So if you commute, say if you live in a big city, you go an hour away, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to be in the country somewhere, you know, um, unless you're on like Long Island or something. I mean, maybe if you get way out on the island or something, you might find some privacy out that way, but can you afford it? You know, so you'd probably be better off to go inland from the city, go, in towards, um, in New York, you could go down towards Pennsylvania or, go north a little bit, however you want to do it. But this way here, you could get out of the city. You may have to go to work and just pray to God you can get back home safely, you know. I need to get a gold zero affordable panel kit like you have against the wall. Yes, I mean, I have a couple of solar panels over there. One's a rock piles, and one's a 100 watt. The other one is a 250 watt solar panel. And I bought the 250 watt to go with the rock piles 1300 watt. I like rock piles, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I forgot to ask this a few times, so I'm going to tell everybody why. I have explained this before. When I first started buying their products and stuff, I had issues with one of their battery banks. It was past the 30 days to send it back on Amazon. So Amazon told me I had to reach out to the company. So I reached out to the company. I explained exactly what happened, and it just wasn't charging. It would not charge any more than 20%. 2 days later, I got an email back from Rock Piles, and they basically told me, you know what? We're going to send you a brand new one. You keep that one, and we'll credit your account. I got it for free. I mean, and at that time, it's not like I was a big YouTuber where they're trying to make me happy or something. No, they took care of me. And that's what I'm looking for, is a company that backs their products that I know is going to take care of their customers. And that's why I have their products. It's just the way it is. Once you find a company that you're comfortable with, it doesn't matter what it costs you, it doesn't matter what the price is. It's what you know, and you know that they're going to stand behind something. That's the company you want to go with. There's a lot of companies out there that make, battery banks and solar panels and all kinds of gadgets. But when you find that perfect company and you know that company is going to stand behind their product, that's who you want to go with, because you're spending some really good money on, some of these battery banks. They're not cheap unless you can get them on sale. That's what I did with that one. I saved $600 on that bad boy. That's the only reason I bought it. I wasn't paying full price. When I'm buying big ticket items, I don't pay full price. It goes into my cart and I wait till it goes on sale. When I feel it's a good sale, then I'll buy it. Till then, I won't buy it. That's how you got to do your homework and keep checking on because every day if you go in and you open up your cart on Amazon, at the very top, it's going to tell you if prices have decreased or increased on the products that are in your cart. Just saying, folks, an easy way to try to save money. And that Amazon's algorithm knows that you have that in your cart and you have it in your mind to buy it. So sometimes I wonder, if you leave stuff there long enough, if all of a sudden their algorithm says, okay, let's put this on sale. Now, I don't know if it goes on sale for everybody or what. But when I saw $600 off that, bought it. Thank you. I mean, you can't pass a deal like that up. And I'll have a video coming out on that. Probably after I get back from my vacation. I'll probably finish up the video. I started the video on that, but I'm going to show you guys on what it can run. Refrigerators. I'm going to do demonstrations on it all, so you all can see what that bad boy will run. All right. As far as I'm concerned, these battery banks and stuff are basically all built somewhat the same. All right. So why pay for a huge name just for the name? Start looking at the specs and stuff and see if it's worth what they're charging. Just saying, folks. All right, let me scroll to the bottom here. We're way over. Sorry about that, folks. Barbara Ingram says, okay, 2 sandbags for tenting inside. Hope there will especially made tents for indoors. Thank you for your replies. I mean, yeah, you can set a tent up inside. I mean, if you had to, say it was a hurricane, ripped your roof off your house or whatever, but you didn't want to go outside because of all the debris. You had no place to go, but the rain and stuff can still come in. There's no reason you couldn't set a tent up in this room. Like you said, you'd have to use something to weight it down on the edges and the corners and stuff so it won't blow around. But rather than that, you'd be perfectly fine. There's no reason you couldn't do that. Just set the bad boy right up inside and you can get out of the weather, you and your family, and you're still in your house. If you have nowhere to go, you may not be able to get out for a while. It depends on how bad the situation at hand is and what happened, you know? So that was a good question. Thank you very much, Barbara. I do appreciate that. All right. All right, folks. Well, I think that's going to about do it for tonight. And it looks like we had, yeah, Jan got him, JT got him. These damn Russians, I tell you what. I can block them on the regular videos, but on here it's kind of hard. So sorry, folks. But the crew took care of them. So hands up for JT, Jan, and the Coffee First and Speak. Thank you very much for always being here. I'd like to thank everybody for all that you do for this channel. I want to remind everybody to remember that their plan does not include us. And that is why it's so very important for us to start prepping and doing whatever we can do to be prepared and survive so that you and your family will be safe. We all have to participate in this together. We all have to stick together as a community. It's the reason why we are growing is because of the community. The community is very important. It's the whole part of being a prepper. Because one of the number one rules in the prepper book that you don't want to do is believe that you can survive by yourself. That is a bad scenario to put yourself in. So once again, I want to remind everybody, you have a few days left to buy merchandise if you are interested. The link is in the description below. It's right on my main page. You can just click that. It says merchandise. Takes you right to the page. For a few more days, you're going to save 15% off anything that you order. If you order over a certain dollar amount, you get free shipping. That is totally up to you. You also want to remind everybody that I have the cooking videos will be coming out every Friday. There was another one coming out this coming Friday. It is only 10 minutes long. I worked it and cut it down. I figured out a good plan and it worked. So the video is only 10 minutes. It's not 21 minutes like last Friday's, but I do appreciate all the comments and stuff on that video because you give me some good ideas. And like I said in the very beginning of this video, if you guys do have any cooking ideas that you'd like to see me try to cook with as far as preps go, put the comments or questions or your opinion on what you'd like to see me try to do in the comments of this video, and I will read those and I will take those in consideration and see what I can do because I'm here to give you knowledge. That's the goal. That's why I do what I do. So I am Survival Preparedness for Beginners. I'd like to thank all of you for being here. Thank you all for taking the time out of your Saturday night to join me on this channel for the live stream. And until next Saturday night, I hope everybody stays safe. I hope everybody keeps prepping. I hope everybody just stays very well aware of your surroundings and what is going on. Once again, I'd like to thank all my moderators for taking the time out to be here, and all the members that are in here. Thank you very much. Until next Saturday night, you all stay safe. You keep prepping, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.